May I come in, sir?
Please.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you, sir.
You are AAKRITI SETHI.
Yes, sir.
Last time also we suggested you that whenever you appear for the mock interview, you have to appear as if you are actually appearing in the interview. Your look, your dress,
Yes, sir.
everything. So that whenever you appear for actual interview, you will feel homely, you will feel comfortable.
Yes, sir.
As if you have appeared more than a couple of times. So next time if you appear
Next time.
for mock,
Yes, sir.
be formal.
Yes, sir.
Actually, why do you dress actually on festivals?
So to suit the occasion.
Huh?
To suit the occasion.
And you also feel something change in you.
Yes, sir.
And similar is the position here. When you are appearing for the interview, it's an important event in your life.
Yes, sir.
So that should be celebrated all the way that is possible.
Yes, sir.
One celebration will be dressing well, right? So these all are integral parts of the personality and the presentation.
Yes, sir.
So from next time when you come,
Yes,
You
sir.
feel comfortable at the actual interview board.
and
Yes,
then
sir.
also you feel actually, then you are not, suppose all of a sudden I'm not a time and I'm not used to it, then I become conscious of time,
Yes, sir.
not in a time, right? So similar in the position, if you are not wearing a sari and if you plan to wear a sari, then you become conscious of your dress that time.
Yes, sir.
So whatever you have planned, so actually you practice that also.
Yes, sir.
The last time this is your second mock.
Yes, sir.
So what were your suggestions last time made to you and how have you complied with that? What were the main suggestions from us?
So the main suggestion was to improve certain current affairs knowledge and to also brush up some of the economics topics. I have tried to do that. I have made a list of all the topics that I had to, but though I could not complete it, but till the time, so much time I have got, I have tried to implement your suggestions.
Okay, let's just start from there. Akirti, please introduce yourself first and if any work experience you can share with us.
Sir, I am AAKRITI SETHI. I come from Ambala, Haryana. I have done my schooling from Ambala. I did my graduation and post-graduation from Delhi University. I also worked with KPMG as an audit executive. I have also cleared UGC NET JRF in economics. That is it, sir.
You have some work experience?
Yes, sir.
Where were you working? Can you tell us a little more about that?
So I was working with the firm KPMG, which is also one of the big four firms. It is a firm which is into auditing, taxation and consulting services. And I was working there as an audit executive. My role was to support the Netherlands clients and to prepare or to analyze the financial statements and other statements like the vouching of the payables, receivables, etc.
So what were the parameters on which you actually worked on that or you judged them?
Sir, actually we used to get the sales invoices and etc. from the clients or from the onshore team that was settled in Netherlands, and we do the matching of the invoices with the financial statements, and that's how we used to track if the financial statements have any error, etc. We also used to sometimes see the minutes of the board meetings and then analyze what they have incorporated in the statements.
What are the various components of profit and loss account?
Sir, components in, can you please elaborate a little bit?
Have you seen the profit and loss account or financial statement of any company?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, what actually they report and what they hide? Have some idea.
So they have to report the income expenditures in the profit and loss, and in the balance sheet they have to disclose their assets and liabilities at any point of time. So that is how the financial statements look like.
Suppose you are a financial analyst, how do you actually say that this company's health is good? What are the vital ratios which you are looking for?
So some of the liquidity ratios we have to see, Some of the we also look at the while we are auditing the hedge funds, we also look at the net asset value, and how the asset value has been calculated, and what are the various liabilities and creditors and debtors, how much the company owes to others, etc.
How do you define hedging?
Sir, hedge funds are the investment funds which they are the large investment funds which invest in the big projects like the infrastructure or other real estate projects. So they make profits while pooling the money of the big investors and investing it in some other funds.
Now, if I say suppose hedging of currency, so what does it mean actually? Why should we go for hedging?
Sir, hedging actually gives us some speculative profit. So if one currency is trading at low,
it also helps in mitigating risks also.
Yes, sir. When we do swaps and agreements, then yes.
Okay, you did your masters from Delhi?
Yes, sir.
Where?
From School of Open Learning.
School of Open Learning. Actually, what exactly you missed? In retrospect, if I ask you, what actually you missed while doing your masters from Open Learning School? Or do you see that, suppose had you done your regular courses from somewhere, is there some difference you felt or you perceive?
Sir, yes, I do believe there is a difference while we do regular course and a correspondence course. And regular course, we do get to have interaction with the teachers and we do get to learn many different things. We have exposure of some very good faculty members, and also I have seen that in some colleges they do provide expertise in some of the subjects, while in open learning such contact and such learning experiences are missing.
Then how did you counter that and you qualified civil services?
Sir, I believe that I had the experience of working, like I had the practical knowledge of the subject and I also had the theoretical knowledge. I was also good in my academics, so that helped me, and also I attended some of the classes. They used to take classes on Saturday, Sundays for the students in the School of Open Learning campus. So I attended some of the classes there.
Where you attended the classes?
At the School of Open Learning Camp Center. The offline mode.
Which college?
So the center itself conducted the classes.
Can you tell me the professor who taught you?
Sir, I could not remember the name of the professors. Economics classes I attended some of them, but I could not attend in my second year the classes because I had load of my office work as well.
Okay, your options were economics?
Yes, sir.
Okay, AAKRITI, can you tell us about why Haryana, Punjab and Western UP were selected for Green Revolution? Why not eastern part of the region or other part of the countries?
So Green Revolution's aim was to have the productivity enhancement at a very immediate or urgent. It was the urgent need of that hour, and keeping in mind the geography, the economy and the polity of these states, it provided the ground. For example, we used to have irrigation facilities that were already there. Some of the infrastructure was already there. The economy, the landowners were quite rich, who could afford the fertilizers which was required to be made, and the HYV seeds also. So keeping in mind the cost, the time which was there to see the ultimate output, so that is how these states were selected based on all the parameters.
Then why Professor Sukumai Chakravarti was emphasizing on the second Green Revolution? Was it repeated, or we could not repeat second Green Revolution?
So the second phase of the Green Revolution, yes, it got into the eastern side of India as well. But we at the current time need evergreen revolution, which is in different cropping patterns and different crops. For example, earlier the focus was only on wheat and rice, which made these states heavily dependent on these two food grain crops. But when it started diversifying towards the eastern and the northeastern states, we also now need to focus on the evergreen revolution, which focuses on the economics, climate sustainable crops, as well as the demand of the local area.
Or do you think that in post-liberalization phases, the land reforms which were carried out has worked, or is there any improvement, and what's your say about it?
Sir, if we see the land reforms from different perspectives, like the aims of the land reforms, it was multiple reforms was there, abolition of intermediaries was there, land ceiling act was there, and cooperative farming was also there. So some of the reforms were successful, like abolition of zamindaris, but other reforms like land ceilings, it was not successful in many of the states. Some of the states like West Bengal and Kerala saw the results, but land ceiling and cooperation farming is what is required at this time, and we need to have land reforms now.
What kind of land reforms you propose for?
Sir, keeping in mind the operational land holdings that India has, so we have seen that operational land holdings is decreasing, which is ultimately reducing the economies of scale. So we need to have some of the cooperative farmings, contract farmings, where more commercialization as well as more productivity and yield is to be increased due to the economies of scale. So cooperative farming and contract farming is one of the measures that comes to my mind. Also diversification of the crops, but that comes a different area. In land reforms, these are the two major reforms that we do require.
But do you think there was a recent farmers' agitation? Why they were opposing when the government introduced those reforms?
Sir, any reform that has to come, it has to come from the consensus of all stakeholders. And the one thing that the government missed was to have consensus of all the stakeholders involved, and which led to the trust deficit between the government and the farmers. So that was the main reason which led to these agitations. But if we do have consensus-based approach, it will work out.
What were the 3 points on which the farmers were opposing?
So the first was the MSP issue, which they wanted to get it legalized. The second was that some of the terms in the Contract Act which gave more powers to the DM of the district, and the third was I could not recall right now.
Okay, it's all right. So first you said is what?
The MSP issue.
The MSP issue. What
Yes,
MSP they were demanding?
So they were.
What was the real issue about the MSP?
Sir, actually the government did not say that they will abolish MSPs, but because one nation, one trade was getting there and government was trying to privatize the mandis, so there was a threat in the mind of the uncertainty in the mind of the farmers that at some point in the future the MSP will be abolished and the farmers will have to bear the brunt of it. So they were demanding legalizing of the MSP issue, MSPs for the farmers.
Oh, already government is giving MSPs, but they were demanding Swaminathan's commissions or recommendations. What is that Swaminathan recommendation on MSP?
So yes, so Professor Swaminathan said that the MSP should be on the comprehensive costs, which are called as 50% above the comprehensive cost, which is C2 plus, whereas the government is giving on the which they call as AF. I am not sure the exact terms, but they do not include some of the implicit costs which are there in the comprehensive costs of Swaminathan Committee's report.
Okay.
Akriti,
Yes,
from
sir.
your choice of service, we can see that you have opted IPS over Indian Foreign Service.
Yes,
What is
sir.
the reason? Indian Foreign Service is also considered to be highly prestigious, and also it was given precedence over IAS and IPS. What is the reason?
Sir, I agree that the foreign services do have their prestige and also are a very honorable, dignified services. But police services gives me a chance to be in the nation, be in the country, and to serve the people of the nation, which is the ultimate reason of me joining the civil services. So I would prefer living in India and be in the people of our country.
What is difference between Punjabi folk and Sufi songs? And what are the similarities, point-wise?
So Punjabi folk songs are inspired from the folk traditions of the people. For example, any farmer rearing the crops or harvesting the crops, whereas the Punjabi Sufi songs are more connected towards the religious side of it. So it has got something. We have seen the lineage from different eras, and the genre is different, where the folk traditions promote more of daily cropping patterns and other marriage festivals, etc.
Two types of songs find any place in the literature, Punjabi literature?
Sir, Punjabi folk traditions, as I said, that they are inspired from common person's perspective. So literature doesn't, finding any literature to back the Punjabi folk songs, I am not sure if there exists, but Punjabi Sufi songs do have their literature through Gurbanis, through Baba Farid's, through Bulle Shah's and Waris Shah's literature.
Can you name some of the important artists of Punjabi folk songs which you like?
Sir, I listen to Prakash Kaur songs very well, and there are also singers like Satinder Sartaaj is there, who sings both in some of the folk songs as well and some of the Sufi songs as well.
Do you sing Punjabi folk or Sufi song?
Sir, I can, yes, I can sing one of the songs, which is the Punjabi folk songs. It is Bajre da Sitta. Bajre da sitta sa tali te marodya.
Fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
About KPMG, what is the size of this company in terms of its turnover? Can you say or no?
Sir, I have not read about it. I'll read.
What are unicorn companies? Have you heard about unicorn?
Yes, sir.
What is this company?
So unicorn companies are companies whose valuation exceeds more than 100 billion.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
What are other features? Why unicorn companies have been in prominence recently after this new government came to power, the NDA government?
Sir, also these companies has to have a recent origin. A small startup which rises to such a valuation is termed as unicorn. So the government's initiatives of Startup India and Make in India has promoted the proliferation of these startups, and which has led to more of the unicorns coming from India.
What are important measures that have been taken by the government to promote the startups in India? Some of the policy issues.
So they have facilitated single window clearances and promoted ease of doing business. And in financial initiatives, I think they have also started priority sector lending to some of the firms.
And what about PLI scheme?
Yes, sir.
Is it also there?
So PLI schemes, it is there to improve the size of the sunrise sectors and also other sectors. But yes, it is also promoting other startups as well.
What are hardwares and softwares related to economic progress? If we say hardware infrastructure, software infrastructure, or software measures, what are those? Can you distinguish and identify some of them? Especially in the context of the policy measures adopted by Government of India in the last 5-6 years.
So I cannot relate to exactly what you're asking. Can you please repeat that?
Hardware
Yes, sir.
and software. These are two terms are in vogue nowadays in the context of Indian economic development and the policy measures being adopted by Government of India for accelerating the rate of economic growth of our country.
Yes, sir.
What are those measures? These are the keywords.
Yes, sir.
Hardware and softwares.
I'm sorry, sir. I cannot think of right
No
now.
issue, no issue. You belong to Haryana.
Yes, sir.
And agriculture is very important profession of the
Haryana's, yes.
people of Haryana. What are the important issues in Haryana agriculture sector that draws your attention?
So the first and the foremost thing that comes to my mind is the not.
Everything is okay, fine, according to you.
So
There are
many
some-
things are going fine. Like we are a major economy of cotton production and basmati rice production, but we need to take. Yes, so we are the fourth largest producer of cotton, and but if we see that the groundwater is groundwater is reducing because of too much of paddy cultivation, and the climate sustainable suitable crops are not grown. Monocropping we have seen is there, and we are not focusing too much on diversification of the crops. That is the reason which comes to my mind has to see. And
What about the sustainability? Do you think that the agricultural practices in Haryana, and I would like to add Punjab also, are sustainable for the long period of time, coming 50 years, 100 years?
so the environmental damage that use of too much of fertilizers is making to the soil, and the groundwater pollution that is happening, I think it is not sustainable for the long run. And we have also seen the issues like stubble burning and pollution in Delhi NCR areas due to
What will be
this.
your immediate steps as a district collector of any district of Haryana? Concrete measures that is within your realm.
Within a DM's power. Sir, we need to keep a check on the stubble burning issue, and it comes under the DM's power to make it more strict regulations against it, to provide the cluster-based centers.
You have to face the backlash of the farmers if you impose strict measures to stop the stubble burning. What will you do actually?
Sir, one is the behavioral change that is required for the and the other important issues that I have seen that the farmers face is the cost which they have to pay to actually use happy seeder and to give labor the charges of reducing cutting the stubbles of the crops. So that is not sustainable. We need to find the solutions. We can merge Manrega
What
and
are the other issues that you will address after being DM of the district?
sir,
Agriculture sector.
I will also keep a check on the use of the fertilizers and the use of the power to use more of water, because power subsidies have led to overutilization of
You have to
water.
put an alternative also. You cannot
Yes,
just
sir.
simply issue an order that stop using water, stop
Yes, sir.
burning the. Actually, on policy front, how
So-
will alternative will you provide to the farmers?
I think some pilot areas has to be grown in other crops like horticulture crops and other millet grown crops, and we need to show the farmers that these crops are more giving incentives to the farmers and helping the farmers increase their incomes. If that shift the farmers will see at the real ground, then it will motivate them to change their cropping patterns as well. So some of the areas has to be promoted in this and make them a model area for other districts to follow as well, other areas to follow.
Anything else? ठीक है, your interview, formal mock interview is over from our side. Now, some important piece of suggestions for you. First of all, from our question answer sessions, it appears that you tend to prolong your answer unnecessarily. That is not needed. You have to be very precise and brief, so that the scope of asking more questions from the board members is open.
Yes, sir.
If you prolong your answers, you are likely to commit mistakes. वो आपके किसी words को किसी sentence को पकड़ के देंगे, where you may not be comfortable. So try to be brief and precise, giving answer to responding to the questions of the members. Secondly, as sir also asked, I think you are not very comfortable with the concept of green revolution.
I will read, yes, sir.
इन्होंने पूछा कि why green revolution, why Haryana and Punjab was selected for green revolution. So your answer was not very convincing. You should have answered that since keeping in mind the level of fertility, the quality of the land in Haryana and Punjab, and since the HYV package was tested for wheat and rice, and these were very important belt of rice and wheat producing area. So that's why it was selected there. Although some areas in Chhattisgarh also was selected. Some parts of Bihar also, like the district of Aurangabad and Rohtas where he also belonged, but prominently Punjab and Haryana.
And Western India.
And Western, yes.
Due to fertility of the land and the size of the land. So you should brush up your knowledge about
Yes, sir.
Haryana agriculture, Punjab agriculture sector. Then your answer about the questions that I posed before you as an IAS officer for the betterment of the agriculture sector was also so not very convincing. Third important observation that we made is that when I asked the question, you are replying to my question. Here we are only 2 members, but there will be 5 to 6, 7 members. So 60-70% eye contact with the person who has asked the question, and rest 30-40% you have to rotate your eyes among other members. Because all the members will be giving you marks. So you have to maintain dhyan rakhna, proper contact with all the members of the board.
Yes, sir.
And it should not look like that deliberately you are just rotating your neck and eyes. It should look natural, kind of you have to maintain eye contact with all the members of the board. So please keep in mind.
Yes, sir.
So these were some of the important suggestions on question related to folk, Punjabi folk song and Sufi. Your answer was very good. It was quite satisfactory. Your answer related to the question of IPS over IFS was also satisfactory, good. That you want to remain, that's your choice. You want to remain in your country and you want to serve the nation and society by living in this country itself.
Yes, sir.
So that's your choice, answer was fine. Unicode, you have been working in, say, KPMG. So you should be aware of
Yes, sir.
these things. These are recent terms that have been coined, and about unicorn also very prominently this concept is being discussed.
Yes, sir.
And startups also,
Startups
the
also.
government focus is too much on the startups.
Yes, sir.
And self-employment generations.
Yes,
So
sir.
therefore, a little bit of
Hardware, instead of physical infrastructure, the word hardware has been coined by the present government. Hardware means railways, roadways, these are important infrastructure, ports, airports, seaports
Yes, sir.
and airports both. The important irrigation projects, these are hardware. Software, digital infrastructure, and policy measures, important policy measures, they are considered as the software of the economic progress and economic development. So please go through this.
Yes, sir.
I would suggest you to read one important paper in Foreign Affairs by Arvind Subramanian.
So is this a paper?
Yeah, research paper.
Okay.
It is an article, very good article. And your funda about different government policies and the Indian economic scenario in the last 20 years and the way forward would be clear to you. So please go through
Yes,
this
sir.
paper very carefully. it will add benefit to
Yes, sir.
to your knowledge and give clarity to you about Indian economic situation.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है? If you want अच्छा
नहीं, actually I'm asking about the lengthy. In one question it was lengthy, otherwise मुझे लगता है कि
इम्प्रूव हुआ.
वो ठीक है, ठीक है. In one question your answer was a little lengthy, but मुझे लगता है कि बहुत lengthy नहीं है. सर ने कहा जो कि avoid करना चाहिए, लेकिन आज थोड़ा ठीक था पहले से. So it's okay now. मतलब एक क्वेश्चन में थोड़ा लिंगर किया आपने, लेकिन स्टिल उस फ्रंट पे मुझे मेरा कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. इवन वी डोंट सी एनी मेजर कंसर्न अबाउट overall. The only thing is now third time you should come dress up.
Yes, sir.
So personality wise, the way of answer, we don't see any major concern in that. Content obviously you are improving, you are reading, and as I said, the sky is the limit.
Yes,
so you
sir.
can be asked anything. So but you don't have to worry even if you are not able to answer one or two questions. That hardly matters. Just get relaxed as you are, and just keep reading.
Yes, sir.
Because you have already proven your worth, and because from the open learning that you are cracking civil services, it's commendable.
Thank you, sir. सर एक्चुअली ड्यू टू शॉर्ट ऑफ टाइम बिकॉज 10 दिन ही बचे हैं ना, तो इसलिए मैंने साड़ी नहीं पहनी क्योंकि वो इट टेक्स टाइम. बट आई एम गिविंग अदर मॉक्स. कुछ मॉक बाकी मॉक्स मैंने दिए हैं साड़ी पहन के, तो लास्ट मॉक जो होगा वो मैं फाइनल साड़ी पहन के. Yes, sir.
You have to be formal.
Yes, sir.
Our point is just take a formal
Yes,
dress
sir.
and appear at the mock interview also as a genuine interview.
लास्ट
That will give you a feel.
यस सर, वो चेंज तो होता है.
And if you want to ask, you can. मेरे हिसाब से आंसर ठीक है सब.
इस पर ही बेटर आंसर्स पहले से रहे हैं.
Yes, yes.
यस सर, आई डू फील द सेम. एंड कुछ टॉपिक्स जो मैंने थीम्स बना के, मतलब आपने जो सजेस्ट किया था, उसके बाद जब मैंने पढ़ना स्टार्ट किया तो आई माई सेल्फ फील इम्प्रूवमेंट इन माई सेल्फ. यस सर.
लास्ट टाइम जैसे अभी कोविड पे नहीं पूछा था, या पूछा था
लास्ट टाइम पूछा था.
हाँ, तो उसको भी ध्यान में
हाँ
रखकर
जी.
स्ट्रक्चर करना है.
यस
And
सर.
it was one of the largest massive program that India has followed.
यस सर.
तो इसकी वैक्सीन प्रोग्राम को भी देख लेंगे आप कि कितने कंट्रीज को इंडिया ने दिया भी है.
यस सर.
उस टर्म्स को भी देखेंगे. And such success, 75 करोड़ इतने करोड़ को वैक्सीन
Vaccine.
कर देना, it's not a joke.
यस सर.
बाकी तो
आप कुछ और पूछना चाहते हैं?
G20
Last time पूछा था.
और अभी चल रहा है, तो उस समय भी शायद ये और टॉपिक होगा.
यस सर.
इकोनॉमिक फोरम.
एंड G20 से रिलेटेड
हाँ बताएं.
सर, G20 से रिलेटेड क्या क्या पर्सपेक्टिव हो सकते
सबसे
हैं?
ज़्यादा होगा जो मुझे लगता है, अगर वो जानना चाहेंगे, इश्यूज तो आप देख ही रहे हैं, चैलेंजेस भी है.
सर, लाइक द जियोपॉलिटिकल चैलेंजेस.
वो तो बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग चैलेंज है.
यस सर.
क्योंकि एक तो वॉर जो है, यूक्रेन वॉर इटसेल्फ है, जो यूरोपियन कंट्रीज की जो पोजीशंस हैं, एंड द इंडियाज पोजीशन बीइंग न्यूट्रल एंड बीइंग इन प्रॉक्सिमिटी विद रशिया, हाउ दे आर गोइंग टू
Match the interest. And also G7 is more prominent in against Russia, while our interest is. So yes, sir.
So those are the things that you should.
And what other perspectives can be there from G20?
Yeah.
Then, hello. Climate will be obviously those points.
Energy security, climate, yes, sir. And global South voice.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Global South Center. Now India is trying to push. So how it is going to balance that?
Yes, sir.
और whether the terrorism issue will be discussed, I don't think इस पे आएगा, लेकिन but challenges तो हैं.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, ये eye contact का ना
हाँ।
मतलब मुझे थोड़ा सा डिस्ट्रैक्टिंग लगता है कि वो डाइवर्ट
इसलिए
करते हैं, इसको
कहा,
कैसे
60
इम्प्रूव किया जाए।
70% जैसे मान लीजिए मैं आपको आंसर कर रहा हूँ,
तो यू आर
आंसर करते
नेचुरली
करते
फेसिंग
ऐसे
ट्रिकी।
यस सर।
लिटिल बिट थोड़ा सा देख सकते हैं हम
थोड़ा सा
लोग व्हाट इज माय
very
रिएक्शन
important.
या व्हाट
तो जब मैं सीरियस हो वो मतलब मैं
हाँ।
सोच के बोलती हूँ तो मैं भूल जाती हूँ कि आई हैव टू।
मैं उसका उपाय बता रहा हूँ
हाँ जी।
कि आप इसको अपने मिरर के सामने थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करके आधा घंटा डेली प्रैक्टिस करो,
ठीक
खड़े
है।
करके अपनी आवाज़ को रिकॉर्डिंग कर लो वहीं पर खड़े करके, और देखो कि हम कॉन्टैक्ट वो मतलब रोटेट कर पा रहे हैं।
तो वो आर्टिफिशियल नहीं लगना चाहिए।
इट विल कम थ्रू प्रैक्टिस एंड सर्टेनली विल।
इसीलिए यहाँ बीच में जैसे मैं बोल रहा था देन यू स्टार्टेड लुकिंग, तो वहाँ नेचुरल होना चाहिए। आप ही को क्यूरियोसिटी होना चाहिए कि कहीं सेकंड वाले कुछ हमारे आंसर से खुश हैं या नहीं है।
ओके सर, आई विल ट्राई।
ये प्रैक्टिस से आ जाएगा, यू विल ओवरकम इट।
ठीक है सर,
ठीक है,
थैंक यू सो मच सर।
And you stand a very high chance.
I hope so, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.